Hello, world. So I was trying to figure out how to say this, and sometimes the universe has a way of helping you out with things. So when I got into coaching, one of the things that I really wanted to focus on was to be able to um, be seen for how I truly feel and see myself as being. So I have been working very hard since I definitely got my life coaching ends of things. I have been noticing sometimes how we see things around us, how people are being around us is kind of a reflection of ourselves somehow. It's not always necessarily how we see ourselves or how we are actually out in the world, but sometimes it's the influence of how we have allowed other people to see us. Some people sometimes are in a negative aspect to us because of a way that we have allowed to happen. It's definitely something that I have been working on. I have been throughout my life, I've been blamed for many things that are not my fault on any level, but certain times some people have a hard time being able to take responsibility for themselves, for their actions, and it's easier for them to blame. And sometimes being the nice person or being the kind person or in some way I have allowed that person to think that it is okay to blame me when they are unable to take responsibility for their actions. So, as I was trying to prepare for this, I kept remembering some of those laws of like the law of attraction, those sorts of things. Well, I have this fun little book, 50 Laws of Power of the Illuminati. And so I was going to look up like the law of attraction in here to just kind of see that. However, I thought this was actually perfect because I am the type of person, as I have said, that I'm not a misery loves company sort of person. When I have stuff going on in a negative sense, which I have had a ton of stuff going on since 2019, quite honestly, life has if it could throw punches, it's throwing punches. And I will tell you, I am coming to the conclusion that there is it is a life happens to me, which they say in some cases is victimhood, but in truth, I think that's a lesson time. It's, stuff's going on and it's time to notice and learn from it. Those that don't want to learn from it, unfortunately, get stuck in a victimhood. And then life happens for me. Some people think that when life starts happening for them, that's when they're manifesting, everything that they thought they had. But I do believe that this is a time of acceptance, learning how you will accept things, and the universe is kind of, in a sense, judging you, so to speak. How well did you take those lessons? How well are you accepting? And a lot of people sometimes they get to that acceptance point and they suddenly they have decided, oh, well, that wasn't quite good enough. I want more, or that isn't what I thought it was. And they won't go through the full step because the next step really is life happens through me. That whole as within and so without. And that's where a lot of the reflection things can come into play with things. And then once you get through the life happens through me, then life happens with me. And that's when you actually become the true creator with things. And I don't mean to go into a whole manifestation level of things. These are just things that I have come across that through my learning with the life coaching, as I have been coming into this whole state of I am no longer going to allow people to just make assumptions about me. I am going to be more firm, probably maybe more than I ever have been in a lot of ways. I'm not going to accept guilt trips from people. I'm not going to accept victimhood from people when I am the one going through something and they decide that maybe I asked them for help or something and then all of a sudden they ran off and suddenly they're the victim in the whole story when I was the one that was actually originally going through something horrible, hoping that maybe reaching out I would be able to get some help from the person. Um, and it ends up being turned around or something like that. I'm not going to deal with guilt and those sorts of things. So I have been in the past few years while I have been in the lesson learning things, and the Still waiting for the for me, so to speak, but not really, because I understand that the for me is how we accept things, and sometimes that is the lessons of things. Um, so I am just definitely in a whole different area right now, and I have definitely been going through the whole life happens through me, even though a lot of times I have to think I am not this ugly inside. But then if I look at the whole how my health has been and how I've had to recreate that part of things, I can understand where I was at one point and trying to get back up, in a sense, get off the couch and start moving again, just like I was then. It's a totally different way of it, but it's still in the same way. But one thing I just wanted to read here, since this is what the universe kind of gave me, kind of put it into a little bit more of a perspective here. Law number 8 of the 50 laws of power of the Illuminati. Law number 8, the law of self-reliance. You are to become rich in life. Spiritual abundance is your birthright. Okay, this is not the one I want. Okay, law number 10. Sorry. The law of optimum ideas and opulence. Thoughts of the best, thoughts of health, thoughts of harmonious relationships, thoughts of peace, and thoughts of wealth will project into the world and mold your destiny. Health, beauty, confidence, and success are mostly a state of mind. For example, we have all seen average-looking superstars be regarded as beautiful. Thus, how we think and carry ourselves most definitely affects how we are perceived and how we feel from day to day. Wealth and opulence are keenly tied to worthiness. Sometimes our minds are too wrapped up in hoarding and therefore not circulating our abundance. Thus, it is something good to supply, act as if you were rich, and play the part. At other times, it's best to treat yourself to something that you deserve, such as a vacation, new car, massage, hobby enhancement, clothes, ideal home, or tools for effective work. When you begin to respect yourself in a greater fashion, your body responds and the world also responds. So, again, that kind of goes into the whole I'm not a misery loves company sort of person. Please don't invite me to your pity party. I'm not going to invite you to mine, and I'm not going to accept an invitation to yours. So, I'm not a misery loves company sort of person. I definitely kind of am more of the law of optimum ideas sort of person with things. I try to think about things on a personal level, even with all of the stuff these past few years that I have been going through. I might not talk about it. You could be a very good friend of mine and you don't even know what's going on those ends of things, because I'm living in the here and the now, and my friendships I appreciate because they're my friends. I want to have a good time in those moments. Sometimes I will have to lean on my friend and maybe explain what I have going on or however, but I don't do that a whole lot because I would rather live in the here and the now and keep the optimism going with things. And then, of course, words are power. When we put our words out in the universe, they come back to us, whether they're going to bite us or they're going to raise us. That's kind of the whole thing. I want to be in a positive with my words. I want to be positive with my thoughts, and I don't want to necessarily wallow in the misery that's going on. So I hope that's a little bit of a clarification of some stuff, not only for myself, but how coaching works and how being able to be there for somebody and to hold that space and keep that positive ideal for them, so that whatever's going on in life, that's what's going on in life. But when it comes to goals, things, and where you want to go and being able to be to that point, that's the type of coach that I want to be for you. Same thing I have been doing in my life. Not wanting to join the pity party. I want to be in a future where everything is just on the up and up, even though sometimes we have to go through our lessons to get there. I hope you have a wonderful day.